Hello all, I am the Holland Phantom, and for today's video, I wanted to take some time to share my Pokemon Cube with you guys for some cube drafting. Now, for those of you who don't know what cube drafting is in Pokemon, a cube is basically a collection of cards that you put together for drafting in tournaments. It could be any number of cards, really, there's no set number. The cube that I have built contains 540 cards. I designed it for 8-person tournaments. And the way you draft with these is you take all the cards, shuffle them together, and then you split them into randomized, we call them booster packs, that have about 15 cards in them, usually between 11 to 15 cards. You distribute them evenly to all the players, and then you take turns going through each booster pack that you open. You pick one of the cards that you like from that booster, keep it for yourself, and then pass the rest of the cards to the person next to you while you get the booster pack from the person to the other side. So for example, let's say I have... I'm not going to shuffle these just yet, but let's say I get these booster pack cards. I like this one, so I'll keep it. I'll pass the rest of them to the person on my right, and the person from my left passes me theirs. I pick another one, and then you keep passing it. Keep passing the booster pack all the way around until all the cards are taken, and then you open another booster pack, and you keep doing that until you have a big collection of cards in front of you. And then once you have all the cards that you're going to be using, you construct a deck with them, and then you play in a tournament. And there's really no set rules as to how to build a Pokemon cube. You can literally design it in any way you want. So for today, I'm just going to share what my cube looks like. So as you can see here, I've got a couple of dividers in my cube box. This entire section is all the Pokemon that I use. This section is all the special energies. And this last section over here is all my trainer cards. There's no basic energies here because once you've constructed the deck that you want to use, you can pull from any basic energy that you'd need. Just make sure that there's plenty of basic energy available for all the players. So let's take a look at what I've got. I've separated all the Pokemon by evolutionary line and by type, so I'll try to go over them as quickly as I can, because like I said, I do have about 540 cards, so it might take a while. I don't know how long this video is going to be, to be honest with you. I haven't planned it, but let's see what we got. So starting off with the first set of Pokemon, these are going to be the Colorless Types, and the way I like to construct a cube is I run one line of Stage 2 Pokemon, one line of Stage 1 Pokemon, and then an assortment of just standalone basic Pokemon. But the trick is that I don't use any individual card more than once. And I'll show what I mean by that in a second. So for my Stage 2 Pokemon, I use Stoutland. And as you can see, they're all different Stoutland cards. They're never repeated. And I've got 4 different kinds. And then for the middle stage, I've got 4 different Herdier. Again, all individual, none of them ever repeat. And for the basic line, the Lillipup, there's 5 of these. So just in case anybody wants to build a Stoutland deck, you've got a couple of options to choose from. But also, just in case more than one person wants to run Stoutland in their deck, you're never going to have the same card. So it's always going to be different depending on what you pull from your pack. So I really like Stoutland as the Stage 2 Pokemon from the deck. Sorry, from the cube. And as you can see here, not all, maybe it's a little hard to see what they can do. Not all of them are built equally. Some of them are clearly better than others. For example, this is probably the best Stoutland to use out of the 4. It has the ability Sentinel, so when it's in the active spot, the opponent can't play any supporter cards. So this is really good for locking your opponent out of supporters. Whereas the rest of them, all they can really do is just hit for high damage if you have enough energy on them. So the rest of them are okay. This is going to be the best one to pull if you want to run a Stoutland deck. And the rest of the Pokemon, the Herdier and the Lillipup, they're just kind of there as stepping stones to build up to the Stoutland. So that's my Stage 2 for the Colorless Types. The Stage 1s, I run Delcatty. So I've got 4 different Delcatty, and then 5 different Skitty. I try to run at least 5 different... Well, not try. I always make sure to run 5 different basics for every evolutionary line, with all the evolution cards having 4 cards. So again, Skitty is just a stepping stone to build up the Delcatty. And just like with Stoutland, some of them are clearly better than others. In this case, this Delcatty is probably the best one of the bunch. It has the Pokepower Energy Draw, so once per turn you can discard an energy card from your hand to then draw 3 cards. So it's really good for drawing cards. Especially in the Cube format, because typically you only build decks with 40 cards instead of the traditional 60, so drawing 3 cards is more powerful in this format than in the standard one. So that's my stage 1s. And then for the standalone basic Pokemon, typically I only do 5 basic Pokemon, but for the colorless type I chose to do 10 because colorless Pokemon can go into any color deck. So I've chosen Kangaskhan. It's got 3 attacks, lets you draw some cards or deal some damage. Ditto, the original one from Fossil. This one's really good. You can copy your opponent's active Pokemon to use all of their attacks, all of their abilities, and also any energy attached to this Ditto counts as a rainbow energy, so super good. Cleffa with the Eek attack. It's a free attack, shuffle your hand away to draw 6 new cards. Pretty good. Smeargle with the Portrait Pokepower. Look at your opponent's hand. If they have any supporters, use one of their supporters in their hand as this Pokepower's ability. Pretty good to let you use at least 2 supporters per turn. Dunsparce, striking around just to load up your bench with some more basic Pokemon. Holland's Cast Form to draw some cards if you have any Delta Species Pokemon on your bench, but I don't think I have many Delta Species in my cube. But really it's just used as a energy card because it's a Holland's Pokemon. It can be used as a... I don't know if you can see it right there. It can be used as a double rainbow energy. So that's pretty good. And Ambipom G for the tail code, move some energy around on your opponent's side. Chatot with the Mimic attack is a free attack to shuffle your hand away, draw some new cards. Audino with the ability Busybody. Discard it from your hand to heal 10 damage from your active Pokemon and 1 special condition. And then Tornadus, just a big Pokemon with a big attack. And there we go, that's my colorless Pokemon. So stage 2 is Stoutland, stage 1 is Delcatty, and then just a random assortment of basics. Alright, let's take a look at what we've got next. My grass type Pokemon. Oops. Put those away for right now. My grass type Pokemon are next. These are going to be my stage 2. For stage 2, I chose Beedrill as my Pokemon. So some of these Beedrill right off the bat are pretty good. This one here, it's got the Flutter Wings Pokepower. Once per turn, search your deck for a grass Pokemon. Pretty good for searching out some more Beedrill from the deck. This one's really good if you have a lot of Beedrill, so if you're lucky enough to pull all 4 of them from your booster packs, the Swarming Sting attack does 40 damage times the number of Beedrill to any Pokemon on your opponent's side. So if you have all 4 of them, you hit anything for 160 damage. I'm just double checking my math there. So really good, especially if you have both of these together. Use this one to search this one out. This one's pretty basic, just a single attack, but the 1 energy attack, so that's pretty good. And then this Beedrill, if it's the last one in your hand, if it's the last card in your hand, you can just play it straight to your bench without having to evolve, so pretty good. So that's my stage 2. And then the Kakunas are just, Kakunas doing the Kakuna thing. And then 5 Weedle. So that's my stage 2 grass type line. Beedrill. And I actually decided to go with a theme for my grass types because for my stage 1s, I've got Vespiquen, another bee Pokemon. These are the Combee. So Vespiquen, got a couple of good ones. This one here has the Bee Revenge attack, so for every Pokemon in your discard pile, the attack increases by 10, so pretty good for late game. And Combee here, actually this one, which one? This one here. This one is actually pretty good. It can be used in any deck because of this honey item that it has automatically attached. When you play to your bench, you can search your discard pile for any basic Pokemon to put it onto your bench, so it counts as a free revive. So even if you don't run any Vespiquen, this Combi is pretty good. So that's my Stage 1 Grass. And for basic Grass, I've got Shaman. Celebration Wind's a good Pokepower to shuffle some energy on your side around to whatever Pokemon need them. Tropius, just good for accelerating energy, attach 2 grass energies from your discard pile to your benched Pokemon. Heracross, it's just there for some damage. Carnivine, it's good for draw power. Their return attack does 20 damage, but also lets you draw until you have 5 cards in hand. And then Virizion, another Pokemon just for dealing some damage and attaching energy from your hand to one of your Pokemon. So some energy acceleration. So that's my grass type Pokemon. Alright, moving on to the fire types next. Come on. So my fire type Pokemon, I've chosen to use Blaziken as my Stage 2 Pokemon. Blaziken's one of my favorite Pokemon of all time, so I really like that I got to use all of these. I love this one. It's actually the original Blaziken back from Ruby Sapphire. Has really good Pokepower. Fire Starter. Once per turn, search your discard for a fire energy and attach it to one of your benched Pokemon, so really good. The rest of them are just kind of there to deal pretty big damage. This one's really good too. It can snipe anything for 150 damage, so that's amazing. And these two are just there for dealing damage. This one can recycle energy with its first attack, so that's pretty good. So that's, oh yeah, and then again, 4 Combuskin, and then 5 Torchic. For my Stage 1 Pokemon, I chose Ninetales, another one of my favorite Pokemon. So they're just kind of there to deal some damage. This one can accelerate fire energy from the discard to one of your Pokemon. And this one's really good for drawing cards. It's actually the same, well, sort of the same ability as the Delcatty that I showed earlier. You can discard a fire energy from your hand to then draw 3 cards. They're really good as a draw engine. And then 5 different Vulpix to evolve into the Ninetales. So that's my Stage 1 Fire type Pokemon. And then for the standalone basics, I've got Infernape G. Split Bomb, pretty good for sniping 2 different Pokemon on your opponent's bench. Entei, good for just dealing big damage if you want to use a second attack. Heat Tackle, hits for 130, it's pretty good. Moltres, another good fire accelerator with the assisting heater attack, 30 damage. Attach fire energy from your hand to one of your bench Pokemon. Reshiram, a big attacker, hitting for 120 damage with its blue flare attack. And then Volcanion. Oops. Really good for accelerating energy with its flare starter attack. So that's my fire type Pokemon. Alright, moving on to the water types. For water type, my Stage 2 is Empoleon. Empoleon cards are usually pretty good. I really like what they can all do. This one's my favorite one. Diving Draw, discard a card from your hand to draw 2 cards. So anything with a draw power ability is always good. And the attack is actually pretty good too. Attack Command does 10 damage times the number of Pokemon in play. So if you have a full bench and if your opponent has a full bench, it's hitting for 120. For only 1 energy, that's really good. The other ones are also there just to kind of hit for big numbers, but this is probably the best one of the bunch. And then you've got your obligatory Prinplup to evolve into Empoleon, and then 5 Piplup. So that's my Stage 2 water types. For my Stage 1 water type, I've chosen to go with Octillery. Out of this bunch, this Octillery is probably the best one. It has the ability Abyssal Hand. You can draw cards until you have 5 cards in hand once per turn. But the rest of them can be pretty good if you want to just deal some quick damage. They usually have some pretty cheap attacks. These two can attack for 1 energy. That one can attack for free. But yeah, that one's probably the best one just for consistency and drawing some more cards. And then 5 Remoraid to evolve up into the Octillery. So that's my stage 1 water line. And then for my standalone basics, Palkia, just a big Pokemon. You can hit the opponent's bench with the Tsunami attack, so that's pretty good. Lapras, that one's really good actually. It's probably one of my favorite water types in the cube. Pokepower, support, navigation. As soon as it comes down onto the bench, search your deck for any supporter and add it to your hand. So I think of all the Pokemon that can do that ability, this Lapras was the first one. And then it was printed on, what was it? Oh, with the Jirachi EX, and then on top Ulele GX, and at the time of this recording, Lumineon V has the same ability to search your deck for a supporter when it gets put onto the bench. So this Lapras had it first. Q-Rem for spreading damage with this Glaciate attack. Keldeo, just there to do some damage with this Resolute Blade attack. And Fione, the ability Whirlpool Suction. If it's on the bench, you can have your opponent switch their active Pokemon with one of their benched Pokemon. And then you discard this from your bench. So that's pretty good if you just want to do some disruption on your opponent's side. So that's my water Pokemon. Alright, next move on to the lightning type Pokemon. It's weird that in the video game it's called the electric type, but in the trading card game it's called the lightning type. But yeah, what do I know? Okay, so for my stage 2, I got Luxray. Luxray is one of my favorite electric type Pokemon. It just looks so cool. So I've got 4 different ones here. You know, I honestly forgot what these do. I built this cube a while ago. Yeah, that's a lot. This one looks pretty good. Fang Snipe. Look at your opponent's hand, discard a trainer card you find there. Good for disruption. Oh, this one's pretty good too. On the turn that it evolves, 1 lightning energy does 60 damage plus 100 more. So on the same turn that it evolves, it hits for 160 damage for only 1 energy. That's pretty amazing. So that's Luxray. Got the 4 different Luxio and 5 different Shinx. So that's my stage 2 lightning types. Stage 1, I've got Zebstrika. Here are the Blitzel. For this one, I'd say this is probably the best one. It has the disconnect attack. 40 damage, and then for the next turn, your opponent can't use any item card. So you can use this continuously for item locking your opponent. And fun fact, I actually won a tournament. Just a little mini tournament back in the day when this card came out. It was a lot of fun. That's my stage 1 lightning types, and for my basics, I've got Pichu. Pichu, one of my top 2 favorite Pokemon of all time. If you've seen my banner on my homepage, I've got Pichu and Rayquaza. Those are my favorite Pokemon. What this Pichu does is does a playground attack. It's a free attack, and then both players search their deck for as many basic Pokemon as they like, and then fill up their benches, or put them onto the bench. So, really good starter. You can fill up your bench on your first turn. Next we got Raikou. Attach lightning energy from your discard pile to one of your bench Pokemon. Good for accelerating energy. Rotom. Electro bonus attack to discard a lightning energy and then draw 3 cards. And the Poltergeist attack is pretty good. 20 damage times the number of trainer cards in your opponent's hand. So they have a lot of cards in hand. It can do a lot of damage. Next we got Zekrom, another big Pokemon, doing big damage with Bolt Strike. And Rocket Zapdos, one of the classic cards way back in the day, has the Plasma attack. It's pretty good. 20 damage and then attach any discarded lightning energy onto Zapdos. So pretty good. Those are my lightning type Pokemon. How much time we got? Oh man, it's turning out to be a longer video than I was expecting. I don't think I'm going to get a chance to go through all the cards, so if people are interested, I'll have to do a part 2 so I can show off the energy and trainers, but at the very least I'm going to try to go through all the Pokemon in this one. Okay, next up I've got the Psychic type Pokemon. For my stage 2, I've chosen to use Gardevoir. So 4 Kirlia, 5 Ralts. Again, going with the theme of my favorite Pokemon, Gardevoir is one of my favorite Psychic-type Pokemon. And also, just in the trading card game, Gardevoir cards typically are pretty good. Anybody that pays attention to the World Championship decks or just top meta cards, Gardevoir has been in more than a couple of World Championships because they're that good. So this is the one I would use in 2004. Has a Psy Shadow Pokepower. Search your deck once per turn for a Psychic Energy. Attach it to any Pokemon. So good for accelerating energy. And then this one, every basic Psychic Energy attached to your Pokemon counts as 2 Psychic Energy. So another way of accelerating energy. This one is pretty good. Just kind of moving your energy around. Energy Jump, move an energy from one of your Pokemon to another one. So. But I'd say out of these are probably the best ones. This is to search energy from your deck onto any Pokemon, and this one to double your Psychic Energy on your Psychic Pokemon. So that's Gardevoir. For the Stage 1 line, I went with Golurk. Golurk doesn't really have much going for it. I just like it, and all of them are just kind of there to do a lot of damage. This one can hit for 180 damage, but it does need 5 energy, so if you can get it powered up, it's knocking something out in one hit. And then the 5 Golett. There we go. And then the 5 standalones. Azelf. It's got the really good Pokepower Time Walk. Search your prizes for any Pokemon. Put it into your hand and then swap it out from another card. With another card from your hand, sorry. Unknown has the ability Farewell Letter. You can discard it from your bench to draw a card. Mewtwo has the ability Mind Report. To search your discard pile for a supporter card, put it on top of your deck. Good way to recycle supporters. Sigilif has the Toolbox ability to... It can hold up to 4 different tools on itself. So, depending on what tools you get from your booster packs, that can be pretty good. And Giratina has the ability Distortion Door. This is a really good ability. I really like it. If it's in your discard pile, put it onto your bench, and then put 1 damage counter on 2 of your opponent's bench Pokemon. So it brings itself back, and then deals some spread damage. So Giratina is pretty good. So that was my Psychic-type Pokemon. Next we got the Fighting types. Alright, for my Stage 2 Fighting type, I've chosen to go with Machamp, the OG Fighting type Pokemon. I actually don't have the original one that came out. This is the reprint in the... I forgot what set that was from. Generations? Evolutions. The reprint from the Evolution set. It kind of does the same thing, just an upgraded version of it. Does more damage, has more HP, and the counterattack deals 30 damage instead of 10. That's pretty good. But out of all of these, I would say this is probably the best one. Has 3 attacks, but the first one is amazing. If the opponent's active Pokemon is not an evolved Pokemon, like if it's just a basic, this attack just automatically KOs it. Doesn't matter how much HP it has. If it's basic, it's just knocked out. Really good. And the rest of them are just there to deal a lot of damage, the way Machamp does. I've got the Machoke to evolve into it, and then Machop to evolve into that. So that's my Stage 2 Fighting type line, Machamp. For Stage 1, Donphan. Donphan likes to spin. Got the double spin attack, spinning turn attack, rapid spin attack. This one doesn't like to spin. What gives? But yeah, Donphan's pretty cool. The spinning attacks usually let you do some damage and then swap out of the active spot. So good for hit and run strategies. Got the Fanby to evolve into the Donphan. And then the standalones. Oops, should have explained that one first. Buzzwole and Ultra Beast. Got the really good Sledgehammer attack. For 1 energy, if the opponent has exactly 4 prizes, it deals 30 plus 90 more damage, so can hit for 120 for only 1 energy. Next I've got a Zygarde, just a big Pokemon, a lot of HP, can hit for a lot of damage with the second attack. Terrakion has a really good Retaliate attack. If one of your Pokemon was knocked out in the previous turn, it can hit for 90 damage for only 2 energy. The original Hitmonchan, I couldn't resist. From the Haymaker deck, Jab, hitting for 20 damage for 1 energy, which is not that good nowadays, but I had to add it. It was the best Pokemon way back in the day, and I couldn't leave it out of this. And then Landorus, another big Pokemon for big damage. So that's my fighting types. What do I have left? Oh, next is Dark type Pokemon. Oh, sorry, Darkness type Pokemon. For the Darkness type Pokemon, I don't have a Stage 2 line. I couldn't find one that I liked enough, or I didn't have enough cards to fill out the evolution line. So I just went to Stage 1s. And I chose to use Malamar. Malamar, yeah, I don't really think there's much special about Malamar. It's just the only one that I had enough cards of, honestly, to put into this cube. I've got the 5 different Inkay there. For the Stage 2, I wanted to go with Hydreigon. I don't think I had enough cards. I gotta go through all my cards again just to make sure. But then for the standalone Dark types, I got some pretty good ones. Veltal. Switch a Veltal with one of your bench Pokemon after dealing damage. It's always a good attack, hit and run. Darkrai. It has a good ability. It has any dark energies attached. It takes 20 less damage from your opponent's attacks, so it can be shielded by giving it an energy. Sableye. Really good Pokemon, especially starting off. It has the Pokebody Overeager. If it's your starting Pokemon, you automatically go first. And then it has the attack Impersonate. It's a free attack. Search your deck for any supporter, discard it, and then use that supporter's effect as the effect of this attack. Absol, pretty good attack in Mind Jack. If your opponent has a lot of bench Pokemon, it could really add up the damage. It does 20 damage plus 20 more for each of your opponent's benched Pokemon. And Spiritomb, another really good starter Pokemon. If you have it active, nobody can use any trainer cards. Actually, that means item cards, as before items got their own classification. They used to be just called trainers. But yeah, if it's in the active spot, it shuts down all items, so it's a good way to stall out your opponent. And it has the attack Darkness Grace. Free attack, search your deck for any evolution card to evolve one of your one of your benched Pokemon. So really good for support and also for stalling out your opponent. So that's my Darkness type Pokemon. And then finally, my Metal type Pokemon. So yeah, again, like the Electric and Lightning type. These are called Metal type instead of Steel type. So for my Stage 2, I went with Aggron. I love Aggron. One of my favorite Steel type Pokemon. Such a cool design, just looks like a big metal dinosaur. But these actually don't really have much going for them. They're just pretty basic. I just thought they looked cool. And then 4 Lairon and 5 Aron. There we go. That's my Stage 2 Metal types. For my Stage 1s, I've got Bronzong. I really like this one, has a heal block ability. Any damage can't be healed from any Pokemon. So if your opponent really tries to go for a healing strategy in the cube, Bronzong is going to shut that down. What else? Yeah, like the Aggron before, it's nothing really too special about these Bronzong. They're just there, because I like Bronzong. Oh right, and then the 5 Bronzor. And then for the standalone basics, I've got Dialga. Good for accelerating metal energy. Cobalion. Energy Press attack does more damage for every energy attached to your opponent's Pokemon, so that can be good for later in the game. Jirachi is a really good card. Stellar Wish. Not Witch. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck. Add any trainer that you find there into your hand, and then it puts itself to sleep. So that's pretty good for searching out anything you might be needing. Skarmory, it's got the Steel Coat attack to search your deck for a metal energy and attach it to one of your Pokemon, so good for accelerating energy. And then Zacian. Energy Stream attack to deal some damage and also attach a metal energy card from your discard pile onto itself, so it can accelerate energy onto itself, and then the Smashing Edge attack can do pretty big damage, 120, but it also runs the risk of discarding energy from itself. So that's my metal type Pokemon. Wow, that's a pretty long video. I was not expecting it to be this long. It's over a half hour long already. Alright, well I think I'm going to end it for now, but I do still have my special energy and all my trainers, so if anybody wants to watch the end of this this cube, just let me know down in the comments below and I'll do a part 2 to this, I guess. But at the very least, I just wanted to show off my Pokemon that I've got over here, and just to see if there's any interest in seeing any cube draft battles. Yeah, because otherwise, I still got all the championship decks and the homemade decks that I have, but I really have been wanting to do some live battles with these cubes. I just don't know there's a lot of interest for them. But yeah, like I said, let me know what you want to see down in the comments below if you wanted to see the rest of the cards, the special energy and trainers, or if you wanted to see any live battles with these cards. Yeah, I'd love to show anything that you guys want to see. Alright, but that's going to do it for now. Thanks a lot for watching, you guys. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and share this video to help this channel grow and reach new viewers. Alright, take care, guys. Bye.